We're going to get a dancing squirrel in here.
Dancing squirrel.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to Distracted Thoughts. I'm Aaron here with my friend Dathan. Dathan, how are you, sir?
I am doing good. We doing good today.
Yeah.
I feel a little weird. We're recording this in the afternoon instead of the mornings like we always do.
Yeah.
I usually start my day with this, and I'm kind of like, this is later in the day. So
well, I mean, I don't have my coffee. That
I know it's a little different.
Different. It is off. And one of the things too that is new for us both is we're used to having a couple backups.
Yeah.
But due to technology issues, like we're going to be on the money at least for a little while.
Yep, we're recording today where this will come out tomorrow. When you hear it, we only got recorded a day beforehand. So we had 2 episodes. We lost audio. We could, what we could do? I could put some bad lip reading to that episode using AI and just put that episode up. Because we have video, just no audio.
Oh,
we can put bad lip reading and see what comes out of it. They do have AI versions of that now, so I should run one of those videos through, even if it's only like 2 minutes of it, and see what it comes up with.
Well, they're still in the folder. They just got moved to the beginning. And
I seen them.
You saw them.
Yeah,
okay.
I seen them.
So those 2, they're still in the
maybe
folder.
I'll do that. I'll take some of those snips and run it through some bad lip reading AI.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I appreciate your flexibility. We decided to go camping before taking over some major house projects starting next week. And so even though it's funny, Megan and I both were like, I'm like, I really don't want to go. It was just so much to do, and it was good. I'm glad we did. I feel refreshed. I feel a little bit clearer about some things. And now, because the next month is going to be pretty hectic. Work schedule is what it is, but, with the stuff we're doing at the house. So it was good. So I appreciate you being flexible and us being able to do it at a slightly different time.
You will pay me back next week because I'm going camping next week when we're supposed to be recording. So, and I was literally decided before I walked out of the house today. So,
okay. All right.
Me and my son Garrett go do just me and him camping trip.
Yeah.
It's just a 24-hour thing, but we do it every year.
Yeah.
We've been doing it since, for the last 7 years. And we got to get it in. We're going to have season's changing pretty soon, and we got to get it in, and we still got to get our family camping trip in this year too.
Oh,
and we're doing the whole family, which we usually don't do. So, we found a little spot we think we're going to try out, and it's right on a lake, right close to a lake. So, so there's only 2 camping spots there. So we're gonna do it in the middle of the week.
Water camping is always nice.
Yeah, water camping's nice.
You can have the entertainment. Yeah, you got to watch the kids. You got to pay attention a little bit, but you always have that thing to do because, I go camping and I like to swim, things like that. But if you're dry camping, not on a creek, then it always feels like you have to try to find something to do. And I grew up in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay. I grew up, but I am probably dude, you yawn. I hate being dirty. I hate it. So if I'm camping near water, at least I can jump in, scrub my pits, scrub my nuts, and call it good. At least feel like I've got a little bit of cleaned up a little bit. Yeah, but to do dry camping, especially. Well, as the weather turns a little bit dusty, we start to dry back out. We got a little bit of rain in, but as the weather, we're going into that dry season.
We are. It's rough.
It's rough.
It's rough. Everything's dirty.
Yeah.
Dusty.
So,
yeah.
It is. It's one of those, it's just not so great.
Yeah.
We also, it's summertime. There's always something going on, right?
Yes.
There's always different things going on. I know last weekend we had the Kootenai River Days.
We did.
Yeah. And that was
a fun time.
It was a fun time.
I had a good time.
I have not had that good of time in probably 20 years. I mean, all around. Had a great time, enjoyable. Also, a little bit too much of a good time.
A little bit.
I mean, considering I didn't get out of bed until 6 o'clock the next day.
6 o'clock next evening.
Next evening. It was a little rough.
Yeah. No, we had a blast, man. We just kind of just was ourselves and just went around. It was funny because, you know, we live in a small town.
Right.
And, you know, people know us. And so they don't get to see us go out and kind of be adults because we've always got our kids with us and when me and my wife go on date nights, we used to go out of town, you know? So we kind of let loose and we kind of went out. My wife, I think, danced for 3 hours straight right in front of the stage.
Yeah, she looks like she's having a good time.
She had a blast.
Yeah.
She said she had a better time than she's had in years. Right. And I was having all these teenagers that are just turned 18, these like newly adults, and would come up to me and be like, "Hey, are y'all okay? Y'all gonna need a ride home? I'm like, "No, we're walking home." "Why would you walk home? We can get." I'm like, "Because I live a mile away. I'm gonna walk home. I'm fine."
Right.
And I appreciate them, but I had so many of them come up to me and be like, "Are y'all okay? Are you sure you're all right?" "Yeah, dude, I'm just I'm having fun," you know. So it was just funny because they're used to seeing business me or family man who's just got his kids at Super One or something. You know what I mean? It's not out letting loose and having a good time.
Well, that's one of those that, yeah, they're not used to. They're not. My kids haven't seen me have that much fun. They haven't seen me do that kind of stuff in a while, if ever. And so the idea of it is a little bit of a foreign concept. Well, I've said it. I don't generally. I drank quite a bit, but I'm a heavyweight. I can drink my share plus. I drank my share plus.
You made the mistake of thinking that my wife's cocktails that she pre-made and brought.
Oh, I know.
Were just women cocktails, and they were not.
No, I'm fully aware that I need to be careful with whatever.
Especially if my wife makes them.
Whatever your wife mixes. I will know that.
It's good.
That's the problem.
It is. It's just good.
That's the problem.
It tastes like chocolate milk and coffee.
It really, really did. It really did. Oh, by the way, Addison, this is for you. I've caught myself. I'm not going to say right as many times because
I think she's wrong.
Just so you know. So there you go. So on that kind of stuff, so Kootenai River Days, and it's actually changed. The way it was when I grew up, it didn't look like this. They've kind of rolled it into the festival part of it, but it used to be a whole week of festivities, not what it looked like now. And they've kind of rolled it into because the graduating classes here are generally pretty small. They basically do all class reunions at the same time. And so, I mean, I'm curious what those kind of things look like where you're from or how you grew up around it.
So growing up, I had a drastic change at about the age of 11.
Okay.
So up until I was about 11, we grew up in a very small town, smaller than the town we're in now.
Mm-hmm.
Kindergarten through 12th grade was in one school. Graduating class was 11 people.
Oh, so more like Troy.
Yeah,
across the border.
Small town.
Okay.
Up until I was 11, that's where we lived. It's called Barnesville, Georgia. So every year they had a big festival and they called it Buggy Days, like horse and buggy. Barnesville, Georgia was the buggy capital of the South in the 1800s. Like it was just like where all the buggy manufacturing was done and all that stuff. And so they have this big thing, and it's just, think of it kind of like a farmer's market and crafts show, but 3 times the size of downtown here, and everybody's set up, and they're set up for 3 days.
Oh, wow.
And all the downtown set up. So like people come from all over the place, set up craft tents, you can buy everything from car swap meet to candied apples to funnel cakes to, you collect coins. There's a coin guy there. It's just everything. And it was fun. It was good. You know what I mean? It wasn't a ton of people at the time. I thought it was, but it wasn't a ton of people. So I grew up every year looking forward to that. All the, young kids my age got to wander around town and play with cap guns and all that stuff.
Got to be kids.
Yeah. And then after 11, we moved to Florida. And we moved into a town that had about 250,000 people.
Oh, holy crap.
So the festivals they had there were a lot different. It was like you didn't leave your mom and dad's side. You held onto a hand because you were walking around up against people you didn't know. And you could walk around for 3 hours and never see anybody you knew. And it was a lot more, it was also a lot more stressful, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it was huge. Like the fireworks shows were huge. And you could walk around when they would do like car shows there. You could walk around that car show all day long and not see everything that was there. I mean, that's how big it was. It was just huge. So I went from a drastic, very small town style of like this get-togethers to very large get-togethers in my teenage years. And it got to be such a point, by the time I was 16, 17, I didn't even go to those festivals. I just didn't want to, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't my scene. It wasn't for me. It was just too many people. So, but we got to experience quite a few festivals because we traveled all over in an RV for a little over a year. We got to see all kind of festivals. We got to go to festivals in Texas. They're interesting. They're different. They do everything big.
They do everything big. Yeah.
But it was always well put on. We went to some festivals in Alabama. Those were good. We went to some like food fairs. Okay. Which are it's just all food. Every vendor is a food vendor, and there's 100 of them. And those are really fun. You can't try everything, but they're pretty fun.
Yeah, but you can give it a good go.
You give it a good go.
And make sure you're stocked on Tums.
That's right. So, yeah, so and then now as I'm older, what my wife and I have tried to start doing is we've tried to start planning every 7 months we go on a getaway, like 2 nights. You know what I mean? We usually within driving distance. We don't do anything extravagant, but we always try to plan it around some sort of festival. Right. The last one was close to Cinco de Mayo, so they had the resort in Coeur d'Alene had a tequila tasting event, which was a big event where there was like 13 different vendors there with 40 something different tequilas, and they had live music and food. And, so we try to do these little like events now just to be cultured.
So that's actually one of the things. So like I said, growing up here, the Kootenai River Days, the one we just had, like I said, it was different than it is now. What you saw is what it's become. But when I was younger, it was a week-long deal. We have the Demolition Derby. The Demolition Derby was actually a part of it. They would actually do that one night. They would do just different things like that, kind of all rolled into one. And then I think someone got the wise idea if they wanted to draw in more tourists. And so they would draw them out. And I actually, it lost the feel. It lost the like, hey, we're doing something special. Because realistically, there are two... Because we don't do anything for winter here. There's no, even though have a really winterized climate, we don't really do anything. But it was Kootenai River Days was more towards the beginning of summer, and then fair at the end of summer. Kind of the open of the crazy bustle season, getting things going, and then fair was kind of the close of it.
And now they're 3 weeks apart or something?
Yeah, now
4
they're
weeks
like
apart.
Yeah. Now they're kind of they're so close together that you really kind of lost it. And that's one of the things, I guess, growing up in the same town or seeing it change over 45, 50 years. I mean, I'm not quite 50, but over that time, just seeing it change. Now, Meg and I like to do the same thing. We lived in the Portland area. There were different festivals we went to. There's always the Ren fairs that are wildly entertaining. Love those kind of things. We went to there's a little town outside of Hillsboro that has this garlic festival, and
I've
it's
heard about it.
yeah,
Heard about the garlic festival.
dude, they grow elephant garlic that's like this big, and it's a
Good
regular,
gracious.
and then they just everything is garlic. You know, you talk about being food, everything is garlic. Everything has something to do with garlic
My
there.
wife would love that.
Yeah.
She loves garlic.
But the one we're actually thinking about, because we should be done with our house, there's a town called over in Washington called Leavenworth. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Okay. You ever been over there?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So it's a little Bavarian town. Basically,
Wait a second. The whole town looks like it's from
the Alps.
the Alps. Yes,
Yes.
we went through it and stopped at the candy shop there.
Okay.
So when
okay.
we were headed to Great Wolf Lodge
Okay.
over off the coast. We went through there.
So in the month of October, every weekend, they have Oktoberfest celebration. So
yes, they do.
They have beer and cider tastings. And I mean, no joke, you'll get a flight of ciders to try out. They have parades that come through. You can sit up on the balcony and watch the parades come through. And I know the last time we were there, which was probably 3 years ago, you know, Megan and I were sitting up on the balcony, each with a flight of different ciders, because you had to pick. They had a board.
Good gracious.
They had a board that had probably 40 different ciders on it.
Wow.
And you get to pick, and they had it color coded. You know, these ones are hard, this one's a little more sweet, whatever. And then we watched the parade go through. But when they do all kinds of little stuff like that, you know, they get the whole oompa bands out.
Yeah.
And you know, I look at that, and that's a town that has embraced its culture and they do the whole Oktoberfest thing, and they do it well, right? And
Sounds like we need to plan a trip this year.
Yeah.
All four of us. Yeah. That sounds like a blast.
It's a lot of fun. It is really quite enjoyable to do that, to be there. You know, you go, like I said, you go on a Friday, you know, Friday afternoon. You spend Saturday. I mean, because this walking through, it's one strip of town. It's one strip of town. You can see it all, but it's good. It's a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, we stopped there. I think it was that trip, either on the way back or on the way there, and just walked around. And we went into an old storehouse that they had where they made all kind of like jams and preserves and all kind of weird stuff like that. And it was good. We got some like pepper jelly from there or something. Or
was it? Can you remember?
It's on a corner.
Okay, that very store, James. They have they have some of the jams and jellies labeled, right? And some of them have warnings labels on them. Okay. James decided that he was super tough, and he was going to take one of their little pretzel sticks and take as big a scoop as he could of this Inferno one, and he ate it. The boy was crying for about a half an hour. Yeah. I mean, like, he was
if it's a jam, if it's got a warning label on it, I'm staying away from it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. That store. We actually were in that store.
It's right there on the corner.
Yep. We, James went in that store, and it was, I almost, and I mean almost, feel bad, but not quite.
But not quite.
But not quite.
Yeah. That's a cool little town though. Like we actually looked, because at the edge of town, like I don't remember if it's going out or coming out. I don't remember where it is. There's a river that runs through the town.
Yeah.
There's a campground that's on that, like where the like kind of leaving town, like the corner right on the river. There's a campground. So we actually looked at getting just like a campsite down there and going and spending the weekend over there, you know, for a little bit. And
yeah, because I was doing we have a timeshare, and the closest timeshare I could find for us is about an hour away. So we could because Meg and I have a timeshare. We've had one for 20 some years. The closest one you could get is about an hour away. I'm like, do I want to do that? Because I'm going to be drinking the cider.
Yeah.
No, that's too far. Hotel rooms that time of year there,
They're probably outrageous.
The cheapest, $288 a night. The most expensive, right around $700 a night.
Wow.
And I mean, they look nice.
Yeah.
But they don't look that nice. But it's the whole point.
It's the experience.
It's the experience. It's that.
And you want to be able to go somewhere where you can stumble back to your hotel room if you want
Right.
to. You know what I mean?
Right.
That way. And yeah, I'm the same way. If I'm going to go somewhere, like when we did the tequila event, and it was like a 5-hour event or something like that, we were going to stay at a different place in Coeur d'Alene, and I'm like, no, I want to stay at the resort. You know what I mean? Because I want to be able to leave there and go up to the room. You know what I mean? So
no, I agree. So, and I know we kind of had an idea, but I'm going someplace else.
Okay, perfect.
So on your travels, on the different things you've seen, on the different places that you guys have been through here, what is the wildest thing you've seen, like when you're out traveling? Like not expected, or hey, we pulled into this town and they had this thing going on and we totally enjoyed it, but we didn't expect it. Because you guys have definitely been more places
we've been a lot. I'm trying to think. Austin, Texas was weird.
Okay.
But it wasn't one specific thing. There was a big car show they had. The car show wasn't weird. The car show was fine. But the night before the car show, we all went out like on the main strip in Austin because they were going to have the cars going down and things like that. And the experience we had with the people of Austin, I got to think it's a lot like Portland.
Okay. Well,
so it's when you walk into a restaurant, it was almost segregated. You got to choose what side and where you want to sit in the restaurant because there were sections of the restaurant that weren't kid friendly. And this was like a regular restaurant.
So my story is something very similar.
It wasn't kid friendly because of things on the wall. It was kid friendly with how the people were dressed that were sitting on that side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some of them had very little clothing on. And so we had our kids with us. So it was like, where would y'all like to sit? And I've never been asked. So I was like, what do you mean, inside, outside? They're like, no, let me explain to you something. And it kind of went down as best they could. So that was interesting. It was kind of off-ish. I didn't expect it. It didn't make my trip any different. It was just something I didn't expect. I'm sure my wife has more than I do because I can adapt to just about anything. Man, I'm trying to think what.
Well, that's what I mean. If it left an impression on you, then it's an impression.
We got stuck in Roswell, New Mexico.
Okay.
By a windstorm. There was like 60-mile-an-hour gust and couldn't be on the highway. We had an RV, big Class A RV. You can't drive in that. And we got stuck at this state park where we'd only planned on staying there for a night. We planned on being there for the night, and we were going to leave, and we had a destination to go to. And it was, by looks of the map, it's out in the middle of the desert. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, this is going to suck. We got to stay here more than one night, blah, blah, blah. We get there, and the first night, we got there kind of late. We set up, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if we're going to enjoy this. And then we go up, and we find out we can stay for another 3 nights and till the windstorm passes and all. And it was probably the best place we ended up staying at.
Really?
It was so beautiful. The lake was one of those, it was in the middle of the desert. So it wasn't ocean water, but it had so much salt and lime in it that you couldn't hardly sink.
Oh, wow.
You would just float. And it was called Bottomless Lake State Park because the lake there, they claim to not know the deepest part of it.
So it's like a lava tube kind of a...
Yeah.
Okay.
And they said that they've had divers down over 1,000 feet. And they've not actually hit bottom. And it's not big. It's probably 5 acres around. It's not a big lake.
So that's funny. Locally, Blue Lake is like that.
Oh, really?
Blue Lake is a lava tube.
Where's Blue Lake at?
Blue Lake? You've driven by it 1,000 times, man. on your way to Sandpoint,
Yeah.
that little RV park before you hit Naples.
Yes,
That little tiny. That's about
Blue Lake RV Park.
Yeah, that's about a 5-acre lake.
Yeah,
that's a lava tube. That lake is probably 800 to 1,000 feet deep.
Good gracious, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
wow. So surprising wise, that was probably the coolest place we stayed that I was definitely not looking forward to. And it was. I would take a trip back there just to stay there. Nothing else in Roswell interested me enough to stay there. Everybody's like, "Oh, visit the, Roswell, the UFO crash," and so we went to the Roswell Museum. We're like, we got to go. We got to go to the Area 51 Museum, dude. It has not been updated since '54. Okay, it was rough. It was bad. Like I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like paper mache aliens, and it was goofy, man.
It was that bad.
It was that bad. It was goofy.
That bad.
Yeah, there wasn't nothing really in Roswell that like piqued my interest at all. But when we ended up staying in this right outside Roswell, that place, I would travel back there again. And it's literally like you go down this like desert style road to get to it, and then it just pops up into this 20 or 30 spot RV campgrounds in the middle of the desert. But it's really, really cool, So
so our weirdest actually is very similar to yours. It's actually, you mentioned Portland.
Mm-hmm.
It actually is in Portland. So when we first moved there, we're new to the area. We didn't know much. And we like to go out and we like to see things and we like to experience different things and we like to travel around and, see whatever we can. We found out that there is a certain day of the year, I think they do it twice a year, where you don't go downtown Portland because they have talk about annual occurrences. They have this thing called the Naked Bike Ride.
I've heard about it.
Well, we had an opportunity.
Can't miss it, right?
And it's not pleasant.
I can imagine.
So that's one of those. Now,
most people who look good naked don't get naked.
Right. Not like that.
Not like that.
Not like
not
that.
Go ride around a bike and sweat all day.
Right. I mean, people have things hanging that shouldn't be hanging. No. Really, like and this has been years ago, 10 plus years ago. We loved the Saturday market. It was weird. It was interesting. I was surprised at how much I actually enjoyed it. But it was one of those places. It's like, I don't exactly know how to feel about this. Yeah. It's one of those, it's just weird. It's just, It is exactly that. It is very odd. But yeah, Portland was one hand was ready to cover the kid's eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, because at the time when we lived there, well, we've been here August will be 10 years that they've been back. I actually moved back earlier for a job. So, Sophie would have been 9 when we left. James would have been 6 or 7. At that age, It's like we gotta be careful.
That was the same age as Addison and Garrett were when we were traveling around.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Yeah, it I did have we were actually in Florida, and we just moved there. This was before we started RVing. We just moved to Florida. We're in Tampa Bay area, and I had a friend of mine that lived down there, and I was like, "Hey, we're looking for some good food tonight, but we want to take the whole family. All 4 of us want to go." And I was like, "So I'm not looking for break the bank good food, but I want something higher than Applebee's.
Right.
Like I want decent food, but I don't want your standard Applebee's.
Well, I don't want chain food. I want something a little more unique."
He's like, "All right." He's like, "Perfect. I know the exact place you should go." He says, "It's called the Tilted Kilt." I was like, "Okay, Scottish, Irish, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds cool." And he's like, "Yeah, it's right off the highway right there, and he told me where it was at. I was like, cool. So we all get ready to go out that night, and I mean, not go out, but the whole family, me, my wife, and Addison and Garrett. Addison's 10. Nope. Addison's 6. Garrett is 2.
Okay.
A lot younger. So Addison's, I think, 5 or 6. So we pull up, and it's this outside looks cool and everything, and we open the door. We walk through the door, and the hostess meets us. And the hostess is wearing a skirt that is very, 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 very short. And you've seen the girls with the collar shirt that button, but they like button 2 buttons and they tie the bottom of it. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
It looks like a bra.
Yeah.
She's wearing that. I'm like, okay. So she seats us. Then the server gets there, and the server walks up, and she's wearing the same style outfit, but it's smaller. And the server is much more endowed than the...
This is not going well.
My wife's like, how is y'all's blah, blah, blah prepared? And every time the server would lean over to the table, she'd have to do this because the kids were sitting at the table with us. She'd do this and like cover herself up. You could tell she was like kind of uncomfortable because it was a family sitting at the table. She's probably used to a bunch of guys. And we ended up getting through it, but I ended up telling you that the food was great. The food was great. I left that restaurant and I called my buddy and I was like, Christian, seriously? He's like, what? He's like, what? The food horrible? I was like, no, the food was great. He was like, you said you wanted good food. I was like, I took my 6-year-old daughter and my 2-year-old son. He was like, oh, you wanted a family restaurant. I was like, yes. So it was funny. We've never went back there, but we talk about that story a lot. It was. I remember Addison going, Mom, why are they wearing their bathing suits? Because she used to call them bathing suits. Why are they wearing their bathing suits at work? I'm like, wow, okay.
I mean, those are those things that are. I mean, Garrett's not going to remember that. He's 2. There's no way. Addison, maybe.
I don't think she remembers it. But.
Yeah. But it's forever burned in your memory.
Yes, it is.
You are scarred now.
And it'd have been different if it was a bunch of dudes went out. I'd have thought, okay, this is kind of whatever. But I wouldn't have been like crap. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah. It was definitely, that was the most shocking. I could have wrung his neck after I told him about it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
The idea of those guys. So like you said, we have a timeshare and we've gone different places, and we took the kids to Vegas once when they were relatively young. And that was one of the things, because you've been to Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The snapping their flyers. Yeah.
Yeah, as you walk by.
Right. And they're trying to hand them to my 6-year-old son. And,
yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yep.
And having to explain what is going on here. And so we've had the kids there. We've taken them there twice. The first time was definitely it was actually more uncomfortable. We took them there about 4 years ago. We were actually on a road trip through, we were going to Texas. We had plans to go see my family, my brother-in-law. We ended up going to a Rangers game, like a Texas Rangers game. We took the kids that time, and it wasn't as bad. It was easier to keep them focused and not thinking about that stuff, and then being able to see. But it's still... it's still everywhere,
It's everywhere there.
But exposing them to, I think that's kind of the idea of, culture, right? We have these, we started this talking about local festivities and that's the local culture. But then you get into these different places, and you talked about it. You went from one little town that everybody was involved to you went to a bigger town where there's more people, but it's a little bit strange. And basically you can blow that out Vegas is one big festival.
It is.
All the time. Different things going on all the time. But it's scary.
Yeah. There's a lot of bad people there too. You know what I mean? That you gotta work around. So I've been to Vegas once. I was on a work trip. And I've now been back. Alexis has never been. Really? So yeah, she wants to go. So we're probably gonna go. We probably won't take the kids. We're probably gonna go. But yeah, she wants to go. I went with a bunch of dudes on a work trip. We were there for CES, Consumer Electronics Show, and it's huge. We was there for the entire week. We had a car we had built for Sony and put in there, and we had to be there for that. But but it was like after hours, it was just like 4 guys walking around. So it was like, and I'm not a gambler, so Vegas doesn't pique my interest at all for gambling. If I walk by a slot machine or a table gambling, I lose money. I don't have to touch it. I just lose money. So I don't gamble at all. But I would like to go and do some of like the shows and some of the things like that. You know what I mean? But
so Megan and I have been, we went there on our anniversary. We've been a couple other times together. But when I worked for, big corporation, I was there at least once a year, if not twice. Twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year. I mean, I've probably been to Vegas 20, 30 times as an adult.
And see, that's the difference in culture too. West Coast, that's the spot for conventions.
Yeah, because it's cheap.
East Coast is not. So Orlando's the spot over there.
Okay.
So if you're anywhere from Pennsylvania down, conventions happen in Florida. They happen at Daytona or they happen in Orlando. And Orlando's really the big one.
Right.
I've been to more conventions in Orlando than I can
never been there.
Consider, because we lived in Florida, and that was where all the big corporations did all their conventions at. Yeah. It's easy to fly in and out of. It's there's plenty to do.
And that you're right. For us, for Vegas, it was. I mean, the rooms
they're always cheap.
They were cheap because they wanted to get you there. Mm-hmm. They're in a casino so that they can get you gambling, doing whatever. I like to gamble. I look at it this, and I'm not like you. I can actually gamble for a while on $20. I can sit there and play for a while. I actually, one of our trips, I sat down and played blackjack for like 3-4 hours and ended up paying for our whole trip.
Wow.
So, I mean, I ended up winning like $1,100-$1,200.
Wow.
Playing blackjack. Slot machines, I mean, it's a video game. And it's rigged against you.
Yeah, of course it is.
When they say it pays out 98% of the time, but yeah, I bet 20 cents and I get 15 back. That's considered a win. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I never really thought about it that way. But yeah, I've been so many times work trips. It would be interesting to go with you guys. I think, Yeah. Like I said, I've been quite a bit, but we've always, Megan and I've always, other than the first time, because the first time that was our honeymoon, we've always taken kids with us. Yeah. So it's never been the same. The shows are great. Actually got to see like a Cirque du Soleil show there. There's nothing like it, man. You want to talk about crazy, wild, there's nothing like it. Yeah. It's amazing to watch. Cirque du Soleil show we watched in Portland. What did we see in Vegas? Blue Man Group?
I haven't seen Blue Man Group. I want to see Blue Man Group.
Something like that. I forget. I know we went to some shows in Vegas. I actually think we saw Cirque du Soleil in Portland. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen a Cirque du Soleil? You want to talk about, amazing stuff.
Really?
Fantastic.
Yeah. I never did any kind of like artsy stuff like that with my family growing up. I mean, most thing we ever went to was fairs, or I've been to quite a few of the Barnum and Bailey circuses before they disband. But we went to stuff like that, but nothing that was super artsy or anything. My dad wouldn't sit through any of that. So we never did anything like that. So, but Yeah, Vegas. I had one of the cool things I did do in Vegas when I was there is I love food. So we went to Heart Attack Grill. Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
So we went to Heart Attack Grill, and I had like a triple bypass or whatever it is. It's like 3
You're
pounds.
trying to kill you.
Yeah, it's like 3 pounds of burger. I finished it, but I thought I was gonna die. I like couldn't hardly walk back to the hotel room. It was bad. But
it'll do it.
Ambulance actually got called on someone while we were there.
Yeah,
it happens quite often there. I mean, so
there's a reason why some of those things are named the things they're.
Well,
named.
I think if you're over 300 pounds, you eat free. I think it's 300. Might have been 400, but they have a huge scale that you can get on. It's like a 4-foot platform, and there's a big number sign in front of you. You stand on it, and if you hit a certain weight, you eat for free. And I can't remember if it was 300 or 400 pounds. I think it might have been 400 pounds. But there was a couple of people that came in that ate for free while we were there. So, well, that's the Western civilization way, I guess.
Right. Well, I'm sure you've seen. Maybe not. There's the TikToks or Reels that there's a Oriental restaurant that has different doors, and based on how big you are, if you can fit through these different, is how much of a discount they'll give you. And so the skinnier you are, the more of a discount you can get. Like, so
you're not going to eat as much.
You're not going to eat as much. So, and it's funny because there's people, and it's seen a couple of different ones. People are filming them of people trying to squeeze through to get to the certain one. And one gal, I mean, she must have been this big around. She squeezed through and got like 50% off of her meal. But then there's one that's like this wide that says, out of luck.
Yeah.
You're just going. So, okay, so if you could pick a show to go to, a new experience, what would it be? Because I'm thinking of you and Alexis, and like I can see her wanting to see a comedy performance live because she's in that world. Yep. Like that's her thing. So she would want to potentially see something like that, like a live comedy performance, something like. But what would you want to see? Would it be music? Would it be a show?
No, music's not. So I've been to quite a few concerts. So if it was a smaller setting, and I don't know what the shows in Vegas are like.
All sizes.
I would love to go see someone like a blues style show, like an actual blues singer that was popular. You know what I mean? If it was music. Now, I've always kind of wanted to do a mentalist show too.
Okay.
Like just because I don't know anything about it, just like off the wall, these mentalists that do weird things. Like I don't know. I've only watched a few short clips of them. So I think that would be interesting. You know what I mean? Not that I'm super interested in it. I just think it would be cool to watch because there ain't many places you can go see something like that. I'm sure you can find one in Vegas.
I'm sure. I'm sure one of the resorts has that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe mine comes from the circus stuff or whatever. I love the magicians.
I've never seen a real magician show.
That's a
magic show.
Yeah, because I am an observant person. You know, that's one of the things. You know, I'm watching what they're doing, and I'm looking for the trick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for how did they do that, and I love that about magicians. I love that about their show is they're tricking me. I know they're tricking me, and I'm loving the fact that I'm being tricked.
That's awesome. You love that you can't figure it out.
That I can't figure it out. That I can't actually logic my way around.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that putting that as, because I can, I can logic my way around lots of different things.
Yeah.
A magician is something I can't logic my way around. Whatever they did is amazing.
So have you ever been the Mexican restaurant in Sandpoint? Is it the Cantina or the?
I think yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
No.
So once a week, they have an actual professional musician.
Yeah.
That is there, and he comes around every table and he does like a little small trick, does things with the kids, and he's actually really good. We went there. We were told about it. I think it's like Thursday nights or something. Like I don't know what night it is, but and he was actually really good. Like he come around, he got Garrett. Garrett's like, and he did something to Garrett. Garrett's like, how do you do that? I was like, well, you're not supposed to know.
That's the whole point.
So it was really good though. Like, he just comes around each table and has conversations with people and does it all night long there. So it was pretty cool though.
It's funny because thinking about it all, we used to get exposed. Now we have, now granted, we have the internet, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, whatever, and people can film stuff. And I don't believe it because video editing, right? I don't believe it, right? I want to see it in person. We used to get exposed to that stuff through, like, I'm with you. When I was a kid, the circus would come around, they'd put it up. We used to have it in here. We'd put it, they didn't do the tent thing. They put it in like the high school gym or something like that. And they do their thing and you'd watch and there was a place for awe. And wow, this stuff doesn't exist anymore.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people are hard to entertain and to wow nowadays because there's so much fake AI and internet and video editing that going and seeing a show, people are like, I've seen that before. Right. I know how he does that. They're not entertained the same way. That's one thing I really like about what my wife's doing with improv is that improv is that it is improvisation. I can't even speak. Improvisation. That's none of the show is scripted. So like you don't know what you're gonna get. Like you really they don't even know what's gonna happen, and that's probably the best part of that is that's real entertainment to me. Right. It's not scripted, it's not planned, it is real entertainment. Funny story on that. We went to an improv show this past weekend.
Okay.
We stayed for 30 minutes and we walked out. I don't think I've ever walked out of a show.
It's got to be bad.
It was rough, man.
Oh, yeah?
It was rough. Like my wife's was the one my wife was in and did. It was funny.
Yes.
Like everybody was laughing. Everybody's like,
well, they kept enough variation. It kept moving.
The first 3 games, I guess you call it, that they did, there wasn't even giggles from the audience.
Oof.
And there was only like 30 people there. There wasn't even like giggles from the audience. And we were like, oh, this is rough. Like what they were doing was warm-ups. Like that's what I see other improv people do is warm-ups. They were doing is full-blown games. Oh. And it just wasn't funny. And there was a couple giggles, hee hee ha ha, but not like I was laughing my butt off at some of the other ones I've seen. And I felt bad for leaving, but especially after I paid to be there. But
you paid to be there?
It wasn't free. I had to be bad if I paid to be there and then I had to leave. So I was like, I'm just gonna go use the bathroom and I'm out. It was just like I'm not sitting here for the next hour and a half for this. It was so. Hopefully they get better. Hopefully, what's crazy is they have a lot of these people themselves. They do a lot of advertisement. They do a lot of media. Like it looks like there's some big blown out event, and it wasn't at all.
Wow.
It was folding chairs in a church gymnasium. No stage, no lighting, no mics, no nothing. And they spent a lot of money on media and advertisement though. So,
well, that's. I think that's really interesting because the show your wife was in, right? That was hilarious and almost no advertising.
Almost none.
Word of mouth.
They posted on Facebook twice.
Right. And it was hilarious. Yeah. It was funny. It was a good show. There's always things that improv is one of those kind of you hit and miss. You make fun of the things that you miss and you keep moving with the things that hit.
Yeah.
And you pay attention to the things that miss.
And you don't do it again.
Yeah. Or you change.
It. Yeah.
The crowd's not into this. Let's change direction on that.
And at her show, I remember I seen, I think it was the Newlywed Game or whatever they were playing, the dating game or whatever it was. there was one girl up there she had taken on this persona and she was trying to do it one way and it really wasn't landing with the audience. And so she switched it mid-script.
I saw that.
And it started landing.
Yeah.
And so she leaned into it,
right.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, and that's what good improv, that's what good adjustment does, is it says, this is not working. I need to change quickly. Otherwise, I've lost them.
Yep.
They're walking out the door.
Yep.
Because once you left, Nathan, that gave the rest of the crowd permission.
Probably. We didn't stick around and see if anybody else left, but yeah.
But we don't see as much or enough of that. I think you're right. It's hard to entertain. Going back to the beginning, talking about the festivals that are around and why they change and what looks different with entertainment and even media and these different things. Yeah, we are so picky as people, or have become so picky that we miss out on. Like I said, I love a good magician. I was gonna say musician. No, I like a good musician too, but I love a good magician, and it doesn't have to be super fancy. They don't have to. It can be simple because I'm looking for it. You talk about mentalist. I've done one. You ever been hypnotized?
No.
Do you know if you can or not?
I don't.
You don't know? I didn't think I could. I thought I was mentally like, no, you can't. Probably 16 years ago, Megan and I and a couple of friends of ours went to a club, and they had a hypnotist. And they basically tried to hypnotize the crowd to find out who could be hypnotized. Well, I can. I'm susceptible enough that I can't actually be hypnotized. And so I ended up up on stage, and I guess I did all kinds of stuff, bark like a dog, flap your arms, things like that.
And you don't remember any of it?
Nope, don't remember any of it. Megan does. Our friends do. But one of the things, and this is one of the things they say about hypnosis and these shows and things like that, you won't do anything under hypnosis that you wouldn't do in normal life.
Oh, okay.
So if you wouldn't do something, you're not, like if you wouldn't flash the crowd, you're not going to flash the crowd.
Gotcha.
They can't make you do something that's against your natural morals.
Okay.
Now, if your morals are questionable,
you might not want to be hypnotized.
You might not want to be hypnotized. So I was up there and doing the different things, and they had these football games and different things like that. But one of the things they tried to get me to do is do the chicken dance. I will not, nor have I ever done the chicken dance. I refuse. My wife said everybody else up there was doing it, and I just stood there. Like, the guy that was doing the show was like, oh, we have a strong-willed one here. And I guess he was trying to, I wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. That's how much I hate that song.
Well, that's kind of cool. I don't know. It's one of those things. I'd probably do it if I was in a crowd setting and whatever. But
I was just thinking about you wanting to do the mentalist, because some of that mentalism stuff they say is hypnosis too.
Yeah.
But we did a show like that, and like I said, I don't remember the show because I was part of it. But yeah, it's that stuff is wildly entertaining to me.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You know,
it can be a whole lot of fun. I think it really comes down to looking for the wonder in your circumstance, looking for the things that are out there to give you some awe. Right?
Yeah.
So
don't be too stuck on, I gotta be entertained exactly like this. Just look at what is going on in front of you and try to kind of be like, this is cool. Open your mind up a little bit.
Well, and explore the new, explore the wild things.
Yeah.
So, all right, man, we're getting there. I gotta say something, and I'm a little surprised you didn't say anything.
Oh yeah, clean shaven. I saw it when I walked in.
You didn't say.
I didn't say anything. We started in. You have Minecraft on when I walked in. I was like, cool, Minecraft.
I was.
We're just big nerds.
Big nerds, right. Now you've known me without it.
Yeah.
But it's been over 2 years.
You know, I probably shouldn't admit this, but I saw it and I was like, oh, he's clean shaved. Is he? Was he shaved last time I seen him?
No.
And I just didn't say anything? And so I questioned myself like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And then we got in here and I looked at you, I was like, oh, no, he was definitely not clean shaved last time.
Yeah. No, and it's not going to last. I actually looked at myself in the mirror and scared myself a little bit. But it's coming into August. Like I said, we're getting into all that hot and heavy work. And I'm like, I don't want to try to take care of it. So I'm going to shave it off and we'll see what happens with it from there. It'll come back. I'm not going with it.
I don't think my kids would recognize. I know my young kids wouldn't recognize me if I shave. Yeah. They've never seen me without a beard. Ever.
Well, I think I've seen one picture of you without.
They've never seen me without one.
And that was a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, the last time I was like I haven't been clean shaved in 25 years. I used to have like a little goatee but it was like a number 1, it was real small. But the last time I didn't have a beard was 2016.
Oh, wow.
So it's been maybe even 2015. It's been 9 to 10 years, since I didn't have a beard. I am thinking about buzzing my head, though, for the rest of the summer.
We're getting into that time.
Man, I did a bunch of work out in the shop this past week, and I was just pouring sweat all coming off my head, and I'm like, I got to get cooler, you know what I mean? So I buzz my head sometimes in the summer and just get it short, so it's,
I tie a bandana around my head because I can't handle that, and I do the same. But basically, it's the same thing. I'm looking at, we're going into August, September. It's going to be hot. It's going to be miserable. Keep the hair short. Keep yourself cool. Do what you can do, whatever it takes. But, well, sir, it's about that time.
It is about that time.
And so, Dathan, final thoughts on this wonderful day.
First thing I gotta say is out to my daughter Addison. Right.
Count all those.
Count them. And no, speaking about festivals and stuff, get out and experience one. Go to one that you wouldn't want to go to. Especially if you're just like passing through a town and they're having a festival, just do it. Just stop and spend an hour there. You'll get to experience and see things that you don't even know you enjoy. So go out and get to know those things. And if your local town has one, be part of it. They're fun. So, I mean, you get to see people be people they're not ever any other time of the year. So, like me.
Yeah, well, and that's it. You get to see people in a different way that you didn't see them. You get to see your dentist dance in the street. You get to see, one of your local cops be a human being. You get to see people in a whole different light that you maybe didn't know. Oh, that guy's got a family. Here he is out with his family. Oh, I didn't know he had a family. Well, yeah, because you didn't know. And where do these weird traditions come from? Where do these different things, where did they even originate? And try them out. Just see it. They exist. They're still out there. Like I said, I think what I heard out of this was we have 2 trips we have to plan.
Yep.
One for Oktoberfest and one to Vegas.
Yep.
That's what I heard out of this. So, Megan, take note.
Right.
But enjoy it, enjoy it. So with that, folks, this end of another episode. We getting them out to you as fast as we can, but enjoy the day. We'll talk to you later.